family and I had just arrived in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in 1968. And we were going to live on the Raytheon compound. And the compound was surrounded by white sand, the Red Sea, and sun shined every day, and it was hot. And we had an incredible experience snorkeling in the colorful Red Sea, and it was bliss, fabulous, and all I ever wish was to forever be happy like that young girl. 7 years later, I had turned 15, and I had a fascination with my mother's beautiful Syrian jewelry box. I wanted to go inside it, but she wouldn't let me. It was forbidden. And then nobody was home one day, so I decided to sneak inside. So I opened it up, and I found her wedding ring. In the corner of the jewelry box, I found this wedding ring, so I picked it up. And I looked inside the inner band, and there was a date, and it said 1962. But I was born in 1960. So I went to Mom, and I asked her one day, I said, Mom, I need to talk to you. I said, why was I born in 1960, but you were married in 1962? And then the bomb dropped. And she told me, your father's not your biological father. Well, wow. It felt as if I had a train hit me. The rug was pulled from underneath my feet. Instant shock, anger, and betrayal. So when I saw Mom, I asked Mom, why were you married in 1962? But I was born in 1960. We wanted to wait until you were old enough, she says. Your father's not your biological father. Wow. Oh my gosh. It felt as if I had been hit by a train. The rug was swept from under my feet. I was shocked. She wouldn't tell me anything. I said, so Mom, what did he look like? What was his profession? Do I look like him? Is he tall like me? Am I tall like him? There's nothing to talk about, she says. I don't remember his name. Well, I learned right then I was on my own. I had no idea how to act in front of my father. I felt embarrassed. It felt funny saying the word Dad. I didn't even know how to respond to him or what to call him. On the heels of my shocking discovery, my family and I moved to Paris. And we're fulfilling my father's dream to drive from the Middle East to Paris. And we'd be driving through 12 countries, 23 cities. I figured this would be a distraction where I'd be able to embrace some aspects of these new cultures, these new cities. In particular, Romania with the rolling hills, picture-perfect countryside. And then we arrived in Paris. That was even more exciting because I had studied French, and then we passed Notre Dame Cathedral. And Paris came alive for me. We arrived at 5 o'clock with the setting sun, and the cathedral was on fire. And I thought, wow, this could be a new beginning for me. For 29 years I had struggled alone. And then Dad and I had a conversation. You know, Dad, all I ever wanted was to forever be happy, like that young girl, with the joy of sun, sand, and the Red Sea at my fingertips. And he says to me, Carina, if there's any advice I would give you, it would be this, and that is to stand still and appreciate what you have around you. I was running on the treadmill one day at the gym, and I repeated Dad's words of wisdom to me. My entire body began to shake, and I knew right then that I was ready to accept Dad. I began writing my story, The Syrian Jewelry Box. As I was writing my story, I remember when I was growing up and Dad used to take so many photographs. He loved photography. He was always trying to capture the moment. And now all he wanted to do was share that with me. And then he called me up to tell me that he had found these photos and he wanted to send them to me in the mail. We said our goodbyes. I told him I love you, Dad. He said, I love you too, Carina. 2 days later, I got the call that he had died. It was then that I realized I'd come full circle with Dad. When I was ready to accept me, it was then that I'd found peace. As I reflect upon my father's words of wisdom, I realize it's a real father's love that I heal, and through that same power of love that I accept. I always knew that Dad was my real father.